How do I feel right now? I feel like I want to talk for a little bit. Feel free to ask me questions, just talk about life. I don't know. Advice a 25-year-old male who doesn't know what to do in his life. I don't have advice, man. Maybe I do. I think there's this weird idea of needing to know what you do in life. And that's something that happens when you're really young, because you want like an idea of like, I have to do this. But a lot of times, like, you will never know, and you just try out different things until you find out things that you like and things you don't. So like, the only advice I have is to just try. Talking from someone who doesn't try as much right now, and I should try more. The only ways you're gonna know if something is bad or good is if you try it yourself. It's fully possible that you find out what you want to do, and then a couple years later you realize you don't like doing it anymore. So a good example for me is like, I thought I was gonna be a pro league player or pro league player forever. I started podcasts. I thought I'd keep those podcasts forever. Streaming was really much about grinding league games, and now I'm not so much about that either. For like 4 years of my life, I'll be focused on this, then afterwards I'll be like, oh, I kind of want to do this instead. Honestly, I'm 34 and I don't know what the fuck is going on. In the next 3 or so years, I think I'm gonna be wanting to do something else, and I don't know what. And more than likely an add-on onto my current existing thing, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. Things are pepped up because this senior matches box really helped me deal with being laid off. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because I try to be relatable, but my life and my lifestyle are very unrelatable. So I do the best I can with what I'm given, because I'm obviously super privileged. I don't want to speak from positions where I don't know how others are. I'd rather try to speak from a position where like anyone can do this or anyone can do that, you know? Because there's no doubt I'm fucking super lucky, super privileged to be where I'm at. You ever look back and wish you did those things, or you think it ended correctly? Oh, like I think about situations where I made mistakes, and I never dwell on the past. It's my greatest strength and my greatest weakness. Strength in the sense that like, bad decisions don't affect me at all, but I get over stuff really, really easily. Just always look forward, always look to my present. It's really bad because it means I don't really stop and smell the roses, so to speak. Like living in the moment is difficult, or like looking at back on my life is difficult for me. You said this question, the trade-off for money, fame, or privacy, especially when it comes to streaming, stalkers, harassers, the orbit streaming house is worth it. I think I'm narcissistic, so I appreciate having the fame, but I think the perfect situation is you never want to have the recognizability of being famous. Like the perfect situation is no one recognizes you outside, so you're able to experience stuff like everyone else, and then while still being able to have like that kind of, I guess, income or fame associated with it. So like something like a VTuber or something like a, I don't know, a masked person. Like it's cool to be noticed here and there, but like if you're always noticed, you're stopped for, like if you're Mr. Beast and you walk into anywhere, you're not able to like experience just walking. If you're Taylor Swift, you have to take private airplanes, because if you take normal ones, you hold up the fucking airport. There's a level of fame which is too much. You miss being a pro league player? Nah, I don't care about. Like again, I get over old stuff really easily. That was 11 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. Do you think about what happened 10 years ago? Maybe. I don't think about what happens 2 years ago. What happened to the OTV anime and short animation you guys wanted to do? I mean, the anime, we wanted to do it, but it's such a ridiculous cost to do an anime. And realistically, there has to be passion from everyone to do it. I think OTV generally just does videos that people want to do for fun. Going through a full anime season means that your project has to be in the works for almost 2 years. Markiplier going for YouTube, making fucking movies an outlier. Well, also Markiplier makes stupid money. Right now, we spend a lot on what we're doing at the moment, paying our staff, covering our expenses, and we're probably not going to be in a position where we could do a lot, super high amounts that requires like hundreds of thousands of dollars anytime soon. At the very least, we could do things that I think are still exciting. So for example, we have a couple merch collabs this year. We'll have some recognizable stuff. It's good to hear you try to focus your priorities, things you care about, most is smart about, where you put your funds in. I don't know. For me, because it takes effort to try, and I've been burned a lot of times I don't try to do things. If you're a streamer or content creator and you're in this situation where you're kind of coasting, that's a really bad place to be. Like you can do it and it's not terrible, and maybe that's fine for you as a person, but you can't really stay relevant if you're coasting, because there's a lot of things that need to be done as a creator. Managing your socials, managing your other platforms, making sure you're scheduled, making sure people know about you, making sure people know where to watch you, make sure people are excited for things that you do. All things that are very, very important. And I think right now I am doing very few of those things, and that's costing me a lot in terms of finances. It's costing me a lot in terms of popularity. I am trying to figure out how to, I guess, be passionate about some of that stuff again. I think VTubing actually saved me, for no joke, like saved me passion wise for about a year and a half. You feel like you can grind league for a few months and get way more viewership? I can get more viewership playing TFT. I can get more viewership just grinding league, but that's not enjoyable for me. Like, if my whole goal is to make more income, that's really easy. I don't have $1 million, but I have enough to like where it's like, no, I don't have no money issues. Well, technically, because OTV is worth more than $1 million, and I technically own a lot of OTV, but like I don't consider that like my money. If OTV died today, I would just give the money away to the staff and the rest of the talent. Be comfortable? Oh, I feel a little too comfortable, and that's the biggest problem. Like I'm happy with what I've done with my career so far, but I feel really, really bad that I'm part of OTV and not aspirational enough to keep doing great content. I'm too lost. I'm too in the sauce right now. I've tried about traveling for a bit, but the thing is I travel all the time. I love to travel, but a lot of times I feel like traveling is lonely. I travel with friends, but it's like they already have SOs. So it sometimes feels like I'm third wheeling, and I'm okay with that. It's not a big deal a lot of times. But other times it's like I feel like a lot of activities I can't do with people, and it feels like it sucks. Things like shopping sucks when you're like a big ass dude, especially when you're going to a country where shopping is really fucking terrible for people that size, like Japan. It's like everyone is excited for one thing and you're like, well, I can't do that, so I'm just gonna die for a day, I guess. Hopefully come back the next day. Your lips look dry. All right, unless you're gonna kiss me, man, don't make comments on my lips. I want to start streaming, but I fear to press the push live button. Any advice? Just fucking do it, man. I don't know, like this, you need a motivational self-help book, man, because your problem for that is just pressing the button. You're not gonna know your problems with streaming or anything else about streaming unless you start streaming. You have no idea. Yeah, a lot of times I don't feel comfortable giving people advice on how to stream or just do business, because I feel like I came in at a different time and I did it a different way. And the more I'm in the streaming sphere, I think you can do it a lot of different ways. A lot of times there's just things you have to avoid, which are really bad for you. Depending how good you are as a creator, the other stuff matters a lot less. Like doing socials, being on multiple platforms, consistency, all of that matters a lot less if you're good. Like a good example, I think, is Mike. Like, he doesn't need to do socials. He doesn't need to do uploads, but he is just an incredible creator. So you'll wait for him. He stays relevant regardless of anything because he's just insane. Again, the better creator you are, you can kind of bullshit some stuff, I think. And I think the rules still help you if you're a great one. How do you manage to maintain your friendships while working full time? I don't. My friendships are fucked. Like, the only way I can manage my friendships a lot of times is because I live with people who I'm very close friends with. I realize that, yeah, the way you build friendships when you're a kid is by proximity. And so I found a way to do that in my adult life. I feel like if you're not actively maintaining your friendships, that's on you. You know, like, you're picking and choosing who you interact with or do with your time. And I don't hold it against people for not reaching out or talking to me, but I do understand that, like, they have people that they're closer with, and those people that are close with are probably people who do a much better job at being a friend than others. What exercises or stretches do you do every day to be able to game as much as you? Don't ask. I don't do any stretches. You didn't make you guys do physical therapy while in Dignitas, so you didn't hurt yourselves? Bro, when I was in Dignitas, we fucking didn't get paid. Dignitas did all kinds of shit to me. You thought they did physical therapy? Please, man. I was playing in the Stone Age. I remember I made 3K a month, including salary. Did I rejoin the LCS? Never. Not good enough. If you're attempting to go pro in another game, what game genre would it be? It'd be something new for sure. I think if you go pro in another game, I like the feel of team-based games. Sure, if you were to ask me if, like, I would be cool to be the best Tekken player ever, but like, it feels different when you're able to work something with a group of people. I really do like that feeling a lot. If you have a chance to buy TSM, would you? No. Okay, so let's say I had like $5 to $10 million. Would I spend it on buying an esports team? No fucking chance in hell. I would either start my own, because that would be more for me, or I would just invest it in something else. I would invest it in just something that would just have returns consistently, you know? Either I do it for a financial gain or I do it for a creative gain. And I think buying TSM does not mean anything for me. You have a game idea you want to make? No, but I have an idea I want to pitch Riot, which I keep telling them this, and they keep looking at me like I'm fucking stupid. Make RiotCon, a convention for Riot games. You could have an artist alley, fucking easy. You could have TFT tournaments there. It would be fucking easy, man. Especially when the MMO comes out. Then you have like TFT, you have the fighting game, you have the MMO. I think they also have an ARPG. BlizzCon for me is very underwhelming, but imagine, like, I think it's so easy. You know when the new podcast will come out? The OTV one? We're in the process of thinking about how to redo that one. It has definitely got to the point where it got a little stale. The OTV podcast is best done now in a situation where you have a permanent 1 or 2 hosts and a rotating cast. And I think that there were a lot of episodes where that wasn't the case. The quality levels were very weird because you never had a consistent agenda for it. So we're trying to make it more streamlined. Maybe not streamlined is the right word. We're trying to make it more like stuff people are excited to show up for. And real talk, we need yappers on the podcast. People can yap. There's a couple people I can yap, but there's a couple people who aren't. It wouldn't even be a viewership thing or any of that, although that does exist. It's more just like a actual quality. The most important thing to a person to have on the podcast is just a person who likes to hear himself talk. And I think the episodes that have people that don't like to talk, that don't have an interesting subject matter, is difficult. I also think streamers talking about streaming sucks a lot. Like, generally speaking, that is not only not relatable a lot of times, but also not that interesting a lot of times. And so I think that like there's ways just to make it a lot better. How do you picture OTV will be like in the future? That's what we're working on right now. Thank you for doing this Q&A. Yeah, no problem. It's been really enjoyable for me. You know, today felt really good talking. I don't know why. I don't even know if I'm in the mood to talk a lot, but today felt like, wow, the time just flew by. I think I like to listen to myself talk a lot today. Don't take credit for my narcissism. That's fucked up. I actually think I'm done. My food has been outside. My wrap has been turned cold because it's been out there for 5 hours. I haven't eaten since I woke up. I'm hungry. I haven't drinking water in like 4 hours because I don't have my water bottle here. Like, I am parched, hungry, tired. I'm everything, man. Good night, guys. Have a great night.